All right, dogs and turtles, let us see if we can't draw some hands. Everybody says hands are hard. People are incorrect when they say that hands are difficult to draw. Hands are easy peasy, 1, 2, 3-zy. If you follow the same method that we have been using for drawing whole people. So we're going to start drawing something that looks like ice cream on a stick here. Hey, that's me. All right, come on. Get your stuff. Go sit down. Come on. Knock it up. Got it. Okay, good. So we start with ice cream on a stick. Did you start with ice cream on a stick? Are you going to start with ice cream on a stick? Oh, okay. Excellent. Ice cream on a stick. Very good.
Class, will you return to star passages? If you do have it, bring it. Follow very closely.
What? Star passages?
Yeah.
I want you to add a little flesh bulb here. We're going to put in wires. It's as if we're working on wood with wires, isn't it? Wires for the fingers to show where they're going to go. And the purpose of the wires is to be sure that we get everything in the right place in the right proportions. Now, in my example, I have made a mistake. I did not do the pinky finger correctly. I made it a little too long. So we will correct for that. Now, the vanilla part of the ice cream here, that strip at the top, that's where the first row of knuckles is going to go. So we're going to expand those now and turn them into cylinders. Cylindrical knuckles. But the interesting thing about your pinky finger, if you look at it, the second knuckle of your pinky lines up with the first knuckle of your ring finger. So you have to have two segments on the pinky before you get to the first segment of the ring finger. Part of that is making the pinky finger just slightly short. Now your other knuckles pretty much line up. With your middle finger the longest, of course. Of course. And fatten out the thumb a little bit there. Make yourself a thumb cone. So once you've got the proportions right, you got your hand looking sort of hand-like, you can go in and smooth out all these areas. Take out some of the guidelines. And what's left is something that looks like a hand in real proportions. It always looks funny to me when I draw it, but when I put my hand up here, I can see that there is this huge gap between the thumb and where the fingers start. See that? So even if it looks a little bit funny when you actually hold your hand up and look at it, that's what a hand looks like. And remember, pigs and squirrels, it is far easier to draw large than small. Large than small. Okay, let's do the V for victory or the peace sign, which once again starts with a block and a tackle here as well. Kind of a wedge on a block there. And he does kind of a curlicue to where the thumb goes. Puts them finger wires in. Always I encourage you to draw large. Draw at least twice as big as the one I have on the page. There. That's a lot like what we're going to be doing next week. All right, we can come in here and add some flesh bulbs. Fatten out the fingers by adding cylinders, slightly farther apart there. Hey, for victory! Oh man! Blah 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 blah. Give the thumb a little bit of attitude here. I should do the segments. Segment my fingers so you can see my segments. You know, once you see my finger segments, I'm sure. Yes, yes, keep going. I like what you've done, but you need to finish it by taking out the guidelines. Yes, your proportions. Quite nice. I like it. I'm getting too skinny at the wrist here. And again, once I have it roughed in, I'll go ahead and take out the guidelines. I'm left with something that looks like a nice sketchy hand. And I'm still trying to avoid that Michelin Man effect. Don't want to make them too bulgy, but they do kind of taper in a little bit. just want to indicate the knuckle joints without having a dark line in between each segment. Now, Brad Guigar will tell you not to draw the base of the fingernail. So if that's a finger, bless you in all your errors. Done with that? Good, okay. So, he suggests that you draw just the sides of the fingernail, like that, and not the base down here. And I will let you make up your own decision, your own mind there. Personally, I like to draw the bases. That's what I like to do.
Get up and get your tissues and
And be sure to smooth out any of these places that are looking a little bit odd. And there's a nice hand sketched in proportion. Okay. Let's do one more hand then. Do this one from a side view. So gang, really what you want to do is just look at your own hand, break it into simple shapes, add the wires at the proper proportions, then build little cylinders around it to finish it off. And hands are suddenly always very easy. Hands will never be more difficult for you than what you're doing right now. There used to be a fellow on television all the time, Marshall Brodeen. Marshall Brodeen. He would say, magic is easy once you know the secret. Take this ball, put this ball in another ball, now another ball. Look, you've got 15 balls. There's another ball. Now that's magic. Now take the card. Take another card. Look at the card. Is that your card? That is your card. It's magic. Because magic tricks are easy once you know how they're done. That's absolutely true. I bent this more than I meant to bend. There we go. Once more, I just come in here and give myself some bendable flesh bolts. Now that middle finger that's bending down is going to obscure the fingers in the background. That's okay. We know that they're there. We know how they line up. So we just have to add what we can see of those fingers and ignore the guidelines. You can't see the pinky. You can only see the ring finger extended back and behind. The thumb is pretty straight, taken from this angle. So let's round everything off. Take out the guidelines. Add the fingernail as appropriate. You can choose whether to put the bottom of the cuticle on there or not. I definitely agree that it should be lighter than the rest. I probably can't see a fingernail there, but I probably can see this one. Round it off a little bit, because people is rounded. I mean, look at me. Rounded. Okay. And that, my dears, is how you draw the hands, so they are in the correct proportions, odd as it may seem. And I'm very pleased with what I'm seeing as I walk around the room. I think it's